collar single-breasted garment, you add a button extension that's the width of your button. So if you had a 3/4 inch button, then you would add 3/4 of an inch. If you had a 1 inch button, then you would add 1 inch. But in this case, we're making the whole thing double-breasted, which means we're kind of like wrapping the jacket more over top of itself. So we can go beyond the minimum amount for a button extension in this case. And if you look at the sketch here, you can see that my button extension is coming all the way over from this side, coming around to the other side and almost touching the princess seam. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I can look and measure the narrowest part of my princess seam is about 4 inches in. We want it to be a little bit less, so it's not quite touching, almost, but not quite. So 1/2 inch is a good amount there, right? So we'll do 3.5 inches. So I'm adding 3.5 inches for my button extension. And for double-breasted garment, this is by design. So you can have a little bit less if you want, you can have a little bit more if you want, it depends on what your design is. But if we're mimicking what's here in the sketch, 3.5 is what we'll do. So I'm adding it here. I'm only really concentrating from below the waist right now, because we'll deal with this area and the collar in a minute, right? So button extension, 3.5, right? The next thing that we need to establish is a few points that we can look at, and they have names that you can put on your notes. The very end of the collar where it touches there, right? The very end where it just starts to roll over is called the break point. So you can look at where the break point is on this, and you can see that it's a little bit below the waist, right? Everyone can see that. So we can find a break point out here. Why don't we say 2? I think 2. Let's do 2. 2 inches. I'm doing mine 2 inches. Again, the break point is by design. You know, if you've done a sketch, you can try and establish where that is based on where it hits in your sketch and where it should hit in your draft. In this case, we're just going to draw in what's called the roll line. So, you know, that diagonal line that goes from your shoulder down to your break point, that's what we're drawing in now, and we call that the roll line. So that's going to come from my high shoulder, right? And that's coming all the way down to my break point here. So we can draw that in.
Now you're drawing over where the collar of the shirt would be. Is that because this is the back and it would be high? Well, this is the front, but
This is the front.
I'm trying to understand. So, oh right, because this thing is over. It's over the physical collar
It's
of the
coming-
shirt, so it will go over the actual collar of it.
This line that I just
Of the
drew
dress.
in
It's
now
like shirt.
is,
It's the inside line there on the V.
I'm going to get a finer marker here.